Welcome back to the Bible Caddy Podcast. I'm William Kane. I'm joined by my good buddies, Ben Crane and Webb Simpson. And today we got a very special guest. Benjamin, tell us who we got.
Man, we got our buddy Stewart Cink. We all love Stewie and just has been a great friend and teammate. Just a little bit out in front of us. So fun to have our brother on after also an amazing year, an amazing win last week.
Yeah, no doubt. The timing is perfect to have Stu on. Just won the Schwab Cup Championship last week, which guaranteed him the Schwab Cup, the season-long race for really the greatest achievement on the Champions Tour. So, Stu, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Love y'all. And I miss all you so much. And it's just good to hang with you for a little bit here.
I got to say something real quick. Just to highlight another talent of Stewart Cink. We're here in St. Simons. Obviously, Southern Soul is incredible. But I got to be honest, and I hate to say this here in Sea Island, but every time I drive by, I think, Stewie would do it better.
There's
I don't know.
Not many people know
good.
that Stuart and his buddy Chad, literally almost went on the barbecue tour. And Chad said, we were talking to Chad last week, who's at East Lake, and he's like, when we started sleeping in our car overnight, it got to be just a little too much.
I don't remember Chad ever sleeping in his car. He always went to the hotel.
You were the brave one who just I got to have it
I had to be
cooking
close.
just right.
I got to be close to the work.
We're going to get into last week, but before we do, you got an off week. You just won. When you win a tournament in golf, do you have a celebratory meal that you want to cook yourself?
No, definitely not. I don't want to do work for myself. It's more, I'd say my champion meal, if I really got to pick one and I had no adverse effects afterwards, would be somewhere in the cheeseburger realm. Okay.
Perfect. I love that.
A good one. Not just any one, but a good one. But didn't do it this time because of the adverse effects. You only do so many cheeseburgers.
If you and Chad were just trying to impress your buddies and you went all out, what would you make?
Probably brisket burn-ins. I think because they're challenging, and if they're good, they are just a flavor explosion. And people do that double take. They take a bite and they're like, and that's kind of what you want. You kind of hand them one, you kind of sneak off, and you kind of look back are they looking? And that'd probably be the one thing because
now what kind of meat is that?
It's a beef brisket.
Okay.
And it's one of the categories. Brisket is one of the categories that when we compete, like you said, on the tour, which really doesn't exist, it is one of the categories. So we have to cook that one, and we like it. But it's fun. It's different, and it's a little bit. I'm from Alabama. It's not an Alabama type of barbecue. It's a Texas and a Kansas City type of barbecue. It's definitely not our region, but we've had to learn.
We know what that means.
Yeah, maybe there's a listener or two that might give a heck about that.
Somebody knows what you mean.
Yeah. Ben hasn't eaten anything that he hasn't grown in the last 6 years.
Well, I think the last time Crane went to a barbecue joint might have been with me about 2008 in Greensboro. Was it Greensboro? We drove out someplace on the way.
Oh yeah,
and it was the worst. I felt so bad.
I bet I know what he ordered.
Well, I can tell you what he tried
Ice
to order.
Water.
First, he tried to order, I think sparkling water, I believe was the first he tried to order. I think the waitress looked at him like, "Where are you from, boy?" That did not represent the barbecue community well.
We have two pros on this podcast between Stuart and Ben. A young pro, if you need to know where to go in a city to eat a good meal, these are the guys to ask. Just free advice.
Well, we probably have your bases covered. One on the vegan and super healthy side, like farm to table, and me probably on the other end of the scale, extremely high fructose corn syrup.
I don't know if I've actually been called worse than that.
Hey, to be called vegan,
it's friends when you got people like you.
Yeah, it comes with a whole package to call somebody a vegan.
Ben's gonna lose sleep tonight over that.
Babe, it was a great podcast. I love Stuart. He called me a vegan.
Honey, I'm so discouraged. I'm so discouraged.
Well, let's
all that God
golf.
has made isn't good.
Is it too late to say nothing personal?
All right, I want to hear for sure about just the accomplishment of the Schwab Cup for the entire season. But before we get to that, just any highlights from last week overall, winning really that tour championship. What stood out from last week to you?
Well, I mean, aside from just playing really well for pretty much the whole week, my parents were there and my mother-in-law was there. So I had three.
Oh, wow.
My three parents basically were there in attendance, and that just doesn't happen very often. And then to go and have a win. My mom said it's the first time she's ever seen me win. I think I remember her being there one other time, but it doesn't happen very often. So it was special to have them around the 18th green and to witness it all and to be a part of it. That was cool.
So cool.
That is really cool. Well, buddy, you've had an amazing career. I'm just going to read off a few things you've accomplished. 3-time All-American at Georgia Tech, ACC Player of the Year, National Player of the Year, individual national champion, won 3 times on the Korn Ferry Tour, Nike Tour, when you played, rookie year, and you earned Player of the Year honors. Won in Hartford in your rookie season, and you won Rookie of the Year as well on the PGA Tour. 8 career wins, including the 2009 Open Championship at Turnberry. I was watching. 5 Ryder Cups, 4 Presidents
Hey, there was
Cups.
like 6 of us rooting for you when you won the Open Championship.
I promise you, Webb
The
wasn't one of
world
them.
had Tom Watson. About 6 of us had Stewart Cink.
4 Champions Tour wins already, 3 this year, and a Schwab Cup. So, of all your amazing accomplishments, where does Schwab Cup rank among all-time achievements?
It's hard to compare it to anything that happens on the PGA Tour because you carve out a pretty significant number of quality players when you remove everybody under 50. So, you can't ignore that. But I will say for me personally, it's really high up there. And the reason because I'm not really a big goal setter. I've always kind of thought of winning and making the tour championship and playing Ryder Cup and stuff like that has been like rewards for small goals, like the boring stuff, never hitting a shot without being completely ready. Doing my process 100% committed every time, stuff like that. The stuff that just never really makes headlines. And the rest of it is rewards. But this year
That's
I made
cool.
it a point to kind of put myself out there, and in every interview on the Champions Tour, I always mentioned how bad I wanted to win the Schwab Cup. I made it a goal.
Wow.
And so I got outside of my own box a little bit, and to kind of be in the top 3 all year. I never was first until now, but it was kind of a special thing, to have that out there. And the questions keep coming back, what do you have to do? You said you wanted to win it, and to do it, it was, very satisfying. I have to say.
That's really
It's kind
cool.
of brave. It's kind of brave to let people in, hey, I want to do this. It's a lofty, very difficult thing. So it's putting yourself out there. Stuart has a word for a shot where he wasn't totally committed, and I do too. And we kind of giggle. We call it an anyways. You kind of just like you're up over the ball. You don't really want to back off, and you're just like anyways, and you just kind of hit some flailing shot out there.
Yeah, like you look down that target line the last time, and you're like, wait, was it the blue flag or the green flag I was aiming for? And you're like, oh, it was probably the blue flag, and you hit it anyway. Like, anyway, those usually don't work out great. Those usually don't work out great.
Yeah. But Stuart, I want to ask you about something because the listener might not know, and I don't think we got into this last time. Like your journey to the PGA Tour, you and Lisa's journey was not easy. And I know there's food stamps involved, and y'all were just living as lean as you could live. And just give us just go back a little bit, just before you made the PGA Tour, just how difficult it was and, y'all's life.
Well, I mean, to say it was difficult, at the time it felt tough because we were oddballs totally in the world of scholarship golfers. At Georgia Tech, Connor, our first son, was born when we were 20 years old. We found out he was coming when we were 19. We got married then, and then he was born about 4 months later. So that's the order in which we did our stuff in the beginning part of our marriage, not traditionally. So for the last 2 years of college, I was like a married dude with a kid, and everybody on the team was like terrified of me, and, rightfully so. And we had to make ends meet. We didn't come from any real wealthy families or anything, neither of us. So we were pretty much on our own, and we sought out every bit of assistance we could for those last 2 years. My wife worked a couple of jobs and took full-time classes, graduated on time, 4 years. And
wow.
Yeah, you're right, Ben. There was food stamps involved. There was the WIC program, Women with Infant Children, it's called in Georgia. And we got our little stipend and our little, like our vouchers. And we could go to the store and get certain kinds of milk and certain kinds of cheese. And we did it.
Wow.
And then inexplicably, they yanked it from us with about 6 months to go. And we were like, what are we going to do? And I had this graduation and turning pro kind of on the horizon. So that's sort of that was my entrance into the world of pro golf. Completely broke. And, but you know, we got started. I would say we had faith, but back then at that time in my life, I didn't have faith. That came after for me. That came after. So, but we had faith in some things. Lisa did have faith. She was a believer already in Christ from early age, but I really wasn't. I didn't know what I didn't know what to make of the world or any kind of spiritual, anything. So, but that's kind of the way we got started. You know, we had an almost 2-year-old when graduation, and I promptly go to the airport the day after graduation and fly to my first tournament and missed my flight and had to purchase a brand new ticket for another $500.
Oh, wow. No.
Yeah, that hurt. No. That hurt.
Oh, wow. Man. And how long till your first win on the Nike Tour?
Well, let's see. I played, that was 95, and I played a mix of just some sponsor exemptions, some Monday qualifiers, some mini tours, or just whatever I could play until the fall. And then I went through Q school, made it through the first 2 stages, failed miserably at finals, but I got a conditional status. So in 96, I started the Nike Tour, which is now the Korn Ferry Tour, with conditional status way down the list. And I finished second in the first tournament, which boosted my reshuffle. We're getting into the nitty gritty of pro golf terminology here, but boosted my reshuffle. So I got in every tournament the rest of the year, and I won about let's say the 10th tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and after I won, I'd played well enough to where I was pretty much a lock to get my card at that point.
Yeah. And then let's just move along chronologically. Like, at what point, Stu, did you put your faith in Christ, and how did that happen for you?
Well, it started when Lisa and I got married, and I knew this about her already because we knew each other in high school. She was like one of my best friends. So we knew each other. And then I knew it was important to her when we got married because we were starting a family. And then there was a guy from CGF, College Golf Fellowship, who used to come and visit one of the guys on our team. And one day we were sitting at lunch at Georgia Tech with all the other athletes around us, you know. Well, I mean, all the athletes. We were the golfers. They were the athletes. And this guy, Mark Perry is his name. He just turned to me in the middle of our conversation and said, Stuart, if you died today, you think you'd go to heaven? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
You know, I mean, and I actually really thought I would, because that's the way that, you know, I thought. I just thought, well, I can beat most people at golf. I don't cheat on my studies and my tests. I would help a person if they needed help. So yeah, I think that's good enough to get me into heaven. I was on the ladder, right? Yeah. So that's what a lot of people believe about, you know, salvation and going to heaven. But it started like this little chain reaction in my brain that kind of got me thinking, like, would I? So, and then from that point on, I started asking some questions and reading a little bit and seeking some things out. You know, you couldn't Google much back then, but eventually I came to understand what the cross really meant and what Christ did for our sins that we can never do for ourselves, and how bad we need him and how bad I needed him. And I wanted to run back to that guy from CGF and say, I should have said no, but now I can say yes.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Took me about 3 years to get there. About maybe 4
But
years.
it was a pebble in the shoe that just got you thinking.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a pebble in the shoe. And because when I said yes to him, like, it really planted a seed of doubt that wasn't there before.
Right.
I never considered it before.
The power of a great question. Just a simple question.
Yeah. All right. So Stu, let's say somebody's listening to this and If a loving friend
just
asks
in case
them,
somebody might be listening to this,
just in case, okay, and they are asking themselves that question for the first time. Hey, if you died today, would you go to heaven? Obviously, we know being a good guy doesn't do it. How would you tell them, okay, here's how you can know for sure that you're going to heaven?
So for me, I think you got to go back and answer the big questions like, what do you believe about our origins? Like, where do we come from? And to me, the whole Big Bang thing just doesn't hold water. And so that leaves me with the creator. And if you believe that we have a creator, which I do, then you must believe the Bible. And then you start at the beginning with the Bible and you start understanding the story in the Old Testament of sin and how we can't handle it. No one can handle it. And so then the New Testament turns into like how we can't handle it, but how God can handle it. And he handles it for us. And that's how I would describe it to somebody is like, they couldn't handle it. Neither can I, neither can you. This is why Christ is here for us, because he can handle it.
Yeah. He's the only one.
That's right. And when you come to see, friend, that like this is how God is toward you. He doesn't leave you in your sin. He comes to your rescue. And he did that by living the life you should have lived, by dying the death you deserve to die. That's what was happening on the cross. Jesus Christ took responsibility for our sins and he was punished as if they were his own. And then God raises him from the dead to say, I've accepted that payment for you. And the person who will go to heaven is the person who has quit trusting in themselves and their own righteous deeds or good works and has put all their trust onto him. That's how you can know for sure that you're going to heaven. And that's what we've all come to understand. The Bible teaches was just amazing.
You push your chips in, you say, I'm going all in, not because of me, but because of Jesus and what he did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Stewie, jumping back a little bit in time, 16 years ago, the Open Championship, it was historic for multiple reasons, but it was most notable because 59-year-old Tom Watson looked like he had the tournament won. Driver, 8-iron, I believe, just a little too far, didn't get it up and down. Remind us of all that and how it transpired and what was going through your mind that day.
And you had your family with you.
Yeah, I had the family. They didn't go to that many Open Championships. The kids, that is. Lisa went to most of them, but the kids were 12 and 15, I believe, when that day happened. So, and then there was another family. There's a college friend of ours from Alabama who got married to an English guy, and they obviously live over there. And they were visiting us that day too. And they got swept up into this whole affair, like watching it on the locker room, taking the golf carts out to the tee and all that. But as soon as I saw Tom's ball land on the green, pitch on the green, I knew that there was going to probably be a playoff because the way that my caddy and I had set that hole up from a game plan standpoint, we were trying to land our ball between 5 and 15 yards short of the green. I mean, y'all know what it's like over there when it's a brick and it's downwind. You can't even think about landing on the green a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right.
To a back pin also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't want to go over the green because the pin's in the back. Yeah. So, all week we were just trying to land it between 5 and 15 short of the green, and the ball would always just land and bounce up on the front and just kind of gather to the middle of the green, and you could putt to any pin from there. And it was a flat green for the most part. And so we did that in regulation, and we did it in the playoff. And if I don't know why it's more clear in my mind than maybe somebody else's, but I remember watching Watson's ball land when he hit his second shot, and he carried it about like maybe 8 yards past the front. It was a pretty shot. I mean, he struck it nice. It was right at the flag. I'm sure it looked great in the air, but it carried like 15 yards further than it needed to carry. And as soon as it landed, I was like, it's gone. There's no way it's stopping. And so it did what it was supposed to do, went over the back, and it was a pretty, not a straightforward up and down, kind of scruffy grass and big hill to come up. So I started thinking as soon as I saw his ball dip over the back that we're going to have a playoff. And I came up with a plan. And that plan was, you holding on to something? Because this is a great plan.
I love this plan.
Don't get to the tee first. That was my only plan. That was all. That's all I could come up with. That was my moment of that was my aha. That was my, what'd you do in your first 100 days, Mr. President? I was like, well, this is my plan. So I ended up going out to a porta-john right beside the tee that they started the playoff on, which was number 5, like almost a mile from the clubhouse. No idea why. But there was a porta-john in the gorse bushes up there about 60 or 70 yards off the tee. And I just went in the porta-john and waited it out and just waited for the applause for Tom to come up on the tee, and I could hear it. And sure enough, when he got to the tee, it was like, "Go on, Tom." They were all like cheering for him. But I knew that everybody was going to be pulling for Tom, and rightfully so. It was an unbelievable story. But when I heard the noise, I busted out of the porta-john and headed up to the tee. And I just I wanted him to hear at least some applause from me, because I knew if I was standing there on the tee, it was going to be a thunderous roar for him, and he wouldn't have to hear anything for me. And so I just wanted to make sure he knew that it was still kind of neutral territory. I
mean, you got him too. You got him.
Plan.
I mean, he was so intimidated.
Well, I don't know if he was intimidated, but I do think that last hole took a lot out of him. Physiologically and mentally, emotionally, it just took a lot out of him, and I can sort of sense that.
Yeah,
I remember, and I think I might have mentioned this before on our first time having you on, but I remember a moment very specifically from your award ceremony speech where you thanked your wife Lisa for introducing you to your faith, and I thought that was so cool. And just for the listeners, hearing kind of y'all's backstory today of how y'all got married and y'all started early, you had nothing. But to stand up there with the Open Championship trophy and then to thank your wife for introducing you to the Lord was a really powerful moment. I mean, that must have been emotional for you.
It was. And, I wanted to mention my faith in that speech. I mean, it's been a while and I don't remember how that exactly was arranged, but I just felt like that was a natural and easy way to sort of like include Lisa and God. And let people know how much I appreciated her. Oh, and here's why. It's not just because she's such a great gal, which she is, but she also did this most amazing thing in my life, which was to minister and witness to me and say like, hey, I have this in my heart. I want you to have this in your heart too. And I was like, it only took me 4 years, but I said yes.
It's amazing.
That is awesome.
Stuart, like you and I have had a conversation I'd love for you to share on the podcast here about if you were building a golfer or you were advising a young golfer and he's going to play on the PGA Tour, which means there's going to be a lot of try. There's going to be a lot of difficult situations. You would say a Christian has an advantage as a golfer. Tell us why you would say that.
I think so. And I think it's because of what you're trying for. Because you're not just trying to make the ball go where you want the ball to go, in the fairway, in the hole, don't go left. I mean, half the time we're just hoping the ball doesn't go somewhere. But you got to look at the reason that you're attaching to where that ball goes. And usually it's very self-centered. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just that's the way we're wired. And I think that the way the Christian is able to surrender to God and surrender to Christ and to sin, knowing that, look, it's undefeated against me. I need backup. Well, you can do the same thing with the results in golf or in anything you do. And I think it's such a valuable tool and weapon that when the bullets are flying out there, so to speak, that we know as believers in something bigger than where our golf ball goes, that we got backup. We're already loved. We don't have to prove anything to anybody that, I'm going to go to heaven because I just made birdie on a 230-yard par 3. That doesn't exist. But I just think we tie the results to our own sense of self-worth, spiritually or socially or whatever, to the point where we end up strangling ourselves with the results. It's frustrating and it can be crushing if you go too far down that road. And it's easy to go down that road. And like Larry Moody, one of the senior, you guys know him, but for the listeners, Larry Moody's a senior, chaplain for the PGA Tour and now for the PGA Tour champions. He's always said that, and I just completely lost my train of thought. he's always said that one of the most difficult jobs about being the chaplain on a place like the PGA Tour is nobody thinks they're lost because everybody's on the PGA Tour, and they got it going pretty well. You're at the pinnacle of a worldwide game, and people want your time, and you get paid money to do this game, and it's hard to convince people that they need a savior and they need backup.
Yeah.
I love the word you used, attaching yourself to the shot or to the result, and if you're listening to this, it's such a helpful question to ask. Hey, what am I attaching myself to? What am I attaching my worth to? And the good news of Christianity is that we can actually attach ourselves to Jesus, and he redefines who we are from the inside out, which makes a 5-iron with water left a little bit easier. You don't have to have it.
But if you have any secrets on how to hit that 5-iron with water left, can you please share it with me? Because I'd like to know.
Just aim further right.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
Going back to the question that Crane asked, I don't think it necessarily makes golf easier, but it enables you to sort of like dislodge some of the extra baggage that we tend to put on it. And it's one of the things that makes golf such a great game is that it's not just hitting a ball and going to find the ball. It's all the stuff you put onto those shots and how much it means to us.
It certainly makes it more freeing, more enjoyable. I mean, when you were talking, the image that came to mind, Stuart, is just a dad who gives their kid a gift, because the gift we have in golf is not of our own. It's from the Lord, right? And so if I give my kid a gift, what do I want to see him do with the gift? I want him to enjoy it, like work hard with it, whatever it might be, but not get so frustrated and defeated and get wrapped up in, the gift kind of having power over him, but more of just enjoying it. And so just hearing you talk about that is encouraging to me.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You've been a great mentor to me and just a great friend over the years, just being a few years ahead of me, and to Webb and to so many guys on tour. You've been such a massive encouragement, and you have an amazing humility. And we always, just always laugh. Like, you just never take life too seriously. It's such a gift. But who to you, who are a couple of the guys or someone who's, maybe a little ahead of you that's just been an encouragement mentor?
I'd say Davis probably the number one guy I would choose. Davis Love. Davis is probably older than me, about the same as me and Webb. Like, Webb, how old are you right now? You're
40.
So yeah, maybe Davis is not. Well, it's probably about the same interval. So Davis is kind of my the guy that was out in front of me about the same amount as I'm out in front of you, and I just always admired Davis's consistency and his loyalty to his family. And when I say consistency, I'm not talking about golf. Well, I admire that too, but I'm talking about Davis Love is the same person to everybody.
Yeah, true.
You're going to get Davis Love the third when you talk to Davis. He's not going to be different to anybody, and he likes what he likes. He does try really hard to be a redneck, and I'm not sure he's really a redneck. He tries hard, and I honor the effort. But he's just a superb individual. Been through a lot, and he's a winner on the golf course, and off the golf course, he's just he's a really good example of consistency. He's like a rock.
Hey, I'd love to hear each of you guys comment on the gospel transfer in pro golf. You mentioned Larry Moody and his faithfulness, but there's guys like Davis, Stu, that are ahead of you. And then Stu, you kind of brought along a guy like Ben, who brought along a guy like Webb, who's pouring into the guys after him. How have you guys witnessed that, one, and then kind of prioritize that as a part of your life too, the last, couple decades?
Well, I think, when you're a Christian, I think you realize that it really does provide a peace that does transcend understanding. And you start to realize the closer you get to the Lord, the more you read your Bible, the more you realize the Spirit really is working in your life. The more you look back and you're like, Lord, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was by the grace of God. The more you want to encourage others in it. And it's like the greatest way to encourage someone. How can I love someone? How can I love Webb Simpson the best? It's get to know him and then, share the gospel with him or walk with him in gospel friendship and make it the center, because that is where life's at, And so that's just, so Heather and I decided early on our career, when I first made the tour, like I was talking to Casey Martin one time and he just said, why don't you go to the Bible study? I'm like, just kind of, And he goes, you know why when the Bible study is great? When people go. And I'm like, yeah. And so Heather and I just kind of looked at each other like, yeah, we're going to show up. We're going to make it a priority. We play early on Thursday half the time. It's never easy, because the study was most of the time it was on Wednesday. Now it's Tuesday, but we just made it a priority. And then we developed gospel friendships and teammates out of it. And it became some of the greatest, days and years of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, William, to answer your question, here's what I think of. Jesus Christ invited people to follow him. He invites people listening to this podcast to follow him. And Ben, you did such a good job of that with me. You just invited me and Dow to come stay with you, to have dinner with you. Me and William, when our wives weren't on the road, hey, come stay with us playing Byron Nelson or Colonial. Eat meals, just hang out. And you just kind of offered yourself to us. And it encouraged us so much that what does that do? It makes us want to do it for others. It's just contagious, and you get the fellowship, and you're still a mentor to William and I, but it just turns into a lifelong friendship, and we can mutually encourage each other. And so, if you're serious about your faith and you're listening in, I would just encourage you to have someone older, have someone younger at all times, someone you're learning from, and you're asking questions to, a trusted friend, and then someone you're pouring into, really mentor somebody and pass down, that kind of relationship, that mentor relationship that has gotten you to the place where you are now.
That's a great point.
All right, Stewie, any advice for Ben? He's coming your way here in a few months. I mean, the countdown is on. William and I are so excited. We looked at the PGA Tour Champions schedule last night, trying to figure out where Ben's playing first. I mean,
I think I already know. Isn't it Boca?
Yeah, Boca.
Is it Boca? Yeah.
It is. The team event?
James Hardy. It's not a team, it's NFL, the NFL event, right? There's NFL players that play in it, it's pro-am format.
Gotcha.
I didn't play last year, but I think that's the one.
Ben already has a restaurant at the best vegan restaurant in town there.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Yeah,
or a reservation.
That's it. That's what we're doing.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. Because we had our kids so young, all you guys understand that your parenthood peers, like the people that from your kids' school and all that stuff, they're the ones that have kids the same age as your kids. And for us, because we had our kids young, most of our parenthood peers out there on the tour were the older guys that had kids that were same age as ours, right? So David Toms, Chris DeMarco, Joe Durant, and those kind of guys. Well, they're all talking I'll probably do another year or two of senior tour golf just as we're getting out there. And all of our best friends are kind of all right, well, it's been real. See ya. And so now we're looking to Ben and Zach and the guys coming right behind them to fill in for us, because as soon as we got out there, we're losing some of our social group. So we're looking forward to it. I can't wait till next year. We'll get some of the old crowd out. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's gonna be fun. He's gonna love it too. You're gonna love it. Webb, you're gonna love it one day. We just got to make sure it still exists. Now that we got a CEO on the PGA.
Well, Webb just is coming off a board meeting. Had a big board meeting.
Okay.
Yesterday.
He's awfully quiet over there. He's probably they don't know we canceled it. We just
canceled the tour's in a good spot. The tour's in a very good spot.
Yeah.
Stewart Cink won the final Charles Schwab Cup. Well done.
Saved the whole professional game of golf. All right.
Yeah. If we can get Tiger Woods out there, I'm sure there will be a place for it.
Yeah, he's welcome to come out there. I mean, I'll push him around in a wheelchair if he'll play.
I know. We've been riding those coattails for a long time. Come on, Tiger.
I know.
You can do it again. You can do it again. You can double every purse. You can double the eyeballs. You can do it.
Yeah.
We'll give you a
That
card.
would be great.
We'll
I think he would like it too. I mean, The biggest thing, is if you're a guy like Tiger, like Ben, guys who have stayed relevant in golf and played, you're going to get in contention and you get a chance to win tournaments, and it feels great. It just feels great.
You just said Tiger and Ben in the same sentence, like they belong anywhere. Well, I guess together we do have 15 majors, so it's a big deal.
All right,
if you count your US, if you count your USA, who's won that, Ben?
That's right. Yeah,
well,
we did win some AMs.
Well, Stewie, all right. We've already mentioned Lisa. We'll never forget 2016. You guys walked through a really scary cancer with Lisa. What was that like? How did your faith sustain both of you during that time? And then kind of finally, how sweet was it at the end of 2016 when she caddied at the PNC Father-Son?
Yeah. It's, those memories are in my mind just as fresh as the 2009 Open ones, because, they impactful things just leave a real clear mark on your memories. And, she's coming up on her 10-year mark here pretty soon, in about April next year. So, not medically significant, really, because of her staging and everything, and she's still in treatment. She's doing awesome, but there is a chance that her doctors are saying that she might be able to stop treatment next year, and wow. That would be just incredible for considering where she started. But yeah, it was. I think it was something that I don't understand how people can go through without faith. But it was also something that caused me to really sort of like look inward and see like, where is my faith for real? Because something like that just kind of like strips off all the layers of crap on your life, that you put on. And you get down to like real stuff, like living and dying. And the question about heaven becomes real fast. And it caused me to have to do a little bit of kind of like, where am I? And I definitely found a few areas where I was like, quite fleshy and worldly, and I had gotten that way over time, and wow. But man, all that melted off really fast, and by far, in something that doesn't really yield a lot of really positive things, the by far most positive for both Lisa and I was the sharpening with our relationship with Jesus Christ. Just just a dependence like I never knew I could feel before, and it's become kind of our messaging out of it for the last several years is, don't wait. There's people out there that are like, well, if I, something bad happens, then I'll if I need it. But we're like, why wait? You don't have to wait for some tragedy or some, an awful thing that happens in your family or your job or whatever, it's out there. The gift of grace is waiting for you all, and for us and for me. And man, it's just something we don't need to wait for.
Buddy, I've been, what came to mind, Psalm 119:92, if your law had not been my delight, I would have perished in my affliction. And just, like you said, how does someone go through suffering and the hardness of life without some kind of hope or anchor outside of themselves, right?
Yeah.
But for you to say that you went deeper into the Lord and y'all's marriage got stronger through suffering is, I think, so encouraging for the listeners, because if we're not suffering now, we're going to go into suffering at some point. Like it's life is hard. And so to have your focus, your gaze be on Jesus through that is so encouraging.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like that was all my focus and gaze was on, because I'm a human being. I'm frail. I'm basically an utter failure ever since Adam and Eve. But because of Christ and because of my hope in him, and I'm sure I'm speaking for Lisa too, we did find hope in that because of him. And Tim Keller has such a great way of putting it about suffering that, really the definition of suffering is like separating you from what you want. That's basically what it is. And wow. In God, we have the only thing that suffering can actually bring us closer and more joy, because we suffer. He wraps us even tighter, and we get more joy when we suffer. And that's the biggest difference between someone who knows God and someone who has Christ when they suffer versus someone who hasn't found Christ yet.
It's not every day that in the middle of a podcast that we are doing the interviewing, does somebody stop and open their notebook and write down a note. And that is just what happened when Stu was sharing and Ben Crane
I was like,
got his notebook
hang on,
out.
I gotta
He's
get
like, I got to
going.
write that down. That was money. Okay, well, Stu, to all of us younger guys, we've looked to you for a long time as in your marriage and in your parenting. I think one of the really neat things we hadn't even mentioned yet on this podcast is you've probably done something nobody else has ever done. You've won 2 golf tournaments with both sons on the bag. So
That's so good.
it's crazy.
Well, fact check, one son.
One son. Okay, I thought you had one with each. Okay.
Just Reagan. Reagan got 2 wins, but
Okay, Reagan got
me
2.
and Connor won the father-son when he played as a 2-man team.
Okay. Gosh.
Okay.
The
That's
PNC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then have you won with Lisa on the bag?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, wait. No. No wins with Lisa. No.
But Lisa has done a nice job. You've had some high finishes with Lisa.
Yeah, got some high finishes. She's got top tens on the PGA Tour and the Champions Tour.
Let's go.
She's got a hole in one. She's got, let's see. Well, she earned the worldwide respect of other caddies, and vice versa. She also gives them respect. No, she had a great time. She kind of stepped um, in what was it? April of 23. We were going to Hilton Head, which is probably another one that Webb won, and because he wins at Hilton Head most
One
every
of the
year.
many.
And but I was struggling. I think I missed 5 straight cuts. And before we were planning to go down there, like it's the week of the Masters, so I wasn't playing. And about Thursday, Lisa said, if you want to change it up, I'll caddy somewhere. And I was like, okay, you're caddying next week. Like immediately, it was like, that sounds like a great idea. I would love that. And my caddy, Scott Sajtanak, who you guys know, Saj, well, I don't think he loved it that much. Um, so he pretty much dumped me. And so the next tournament I played was going to be, I think, Charlotte. And I told Lisa, like, by the way, you're caddying, this is how her caddying career started. Like, I am kind of like that. But she ended up caddying 17 events and all kind of in that streak. And she kind of mentored Dowd for a couple of caddying jobs, I think.
Oh yeah. Dowd had a bunch of questions before Wyndham
I
Championship.
remember. I think the
Yeah.
biggest question was, what do you wear? What do you put with this? I've got this top. I've got this skirt. What do I need to? How do I layer?
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, I was at a time in my career. I was 40. Let's see, 2023. I turned 50. That's right, because we vacationed together, didn't we, Crane?
Oh yeah.
And that was right during the time when Lisa was caddying for me. So I transitioned over from the PGA Tour to kind of playing a mix of the Champions Tour while Lisa was caddying. So she caddied in about 4 Champions events and about 13 PGA Tour events, and she got the hang of it. She could rake the bunkers like nobody's business, and she's fast. I can't keep up with her. She walks like she told me her one goal when she was caddying is to not be the slowest one.
That's a good
She
goal.
Smart with
didn't.
that.
She didn't want the other caddies to be like, "Oh, great, we got Lisa and Stuart here. They're going to take forever because Lisa's so slow."
That's
But
great.
it was a good time. It was a good time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All
E9.
right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the E9. All right. By the way, before we start the E9, Stuart and I had a really fun pickleball game a few weeks ago with a couple of friends, and Stuart's got some game.
Oh, please! I
We
was like the third flight among a bunch of championship flighters.
buddy, Stuart plays the right way, which you gotta love. So we had some fun. So all right, E9, here we go. All right, favorite sport besides golf?
Am I supposed to answer this?
Yeah, I'm supposed to answer that.
I like the
Quick
NBA.
fire.
I'm NBA.
Really, favorite team in the NBA?
Hawks.
Oh, yeah, it's tough to be a Hawk fan. Favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete. Um, Gosh, Tiger Woods.
Wow, favorite part of the game of golf?
Um, Emotional.
Wow. Favorite golf course on the PGA Tour Champions?
Oh boy, that last phrase, you kind of, can I say Pebble Beach? Because we do play it. I'll
Yeah.
Sure.
say other than Pebble Beach, there's a really fun little course that we play in Newport Beach, California, called Newport Beach Country Club. I think it's a tournament called the Hogue. Excellent tournament, well attended by the fans, and it's just got some fun holes. It's a neat little course.
Favorite person to get paired with besides Carl Peterson?
Well, I don't have an answer for that. Can I answer
You love
one?
him. Why do you love playing with him so much?
I mean, who wouldn't? He's the greatest pairing.
Yeah.
You can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
He plays good.
He
He's
does
just
play good.
such a. You
I
just
mean,
look at him and laugh.
he's got a great nickname, the Swedish Redneck.
Yeah, and, is that a nickname or is that just a description?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of what. That's just what he is. Now I've
Right.
been friends with me and Carl. We used to represent Nike Golf a long time ago. We played head to toe Nike
You
for
guys
a long
paved the
time
way
back.
for guys like Rory and Scotty. Thanks
Yeah,
for
well,
doing
yeah.
that.
If by pave the way you mean that they canceled our contracts to give them money, yes, we paved the way. Because that's what happened.
That's
But
good.
I got to know Carl back in the Nike days when they used to do commercial shoots, and we played a ton together, and we were good friends. Our caddies were good friends, so I just love Carl Peterson so much. I just
He's
love him,
great.
and he's been my favorite guy to get paired with. Although I think Davis would be an honest answer too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
awesome. All right, favorite movie?
Love Actually.
What?
I'm a rom-com guy.
Oh,
Can't
buddy.
help it.
I
Didn't see
love
that
you're so
coming.
secure in your own skin.
Hey, that's gonna
You
make
can
a
say
nice.
that.
That's gonna make a nice TikTok clip.
Yeah, oh my, I can't believe you
Oh
just
no!
said that. I thought
What
you'd
have
go
I
with something
done?
safe like Gladiator. Nope.
Oh,
What?
Braveheart. I
Braveheart,
meant to say Braveheart.
Gladiator, Shawshank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were feeling like
Remember
a
the Titans?
little,
I don't know what I was thinking.
I
Well,
mean,
actually,
Ben's going to vegan restaurants. Stewie's watching Love
Oh,
Actually.
God.
I'm like, maybe if you were really going to send, you're going to say Miracle on Ice, but nope. We went right there. Wow.
I
Favorite book
can't believe they
outside.
never made a sequel.
Yeah. All right. Favorite book by Tim Keller.
Self
The Freedom of
forgetfulness.
Self-Forgetfulness. It's like
Yeah, I
40
think
pages.
you gave me that. I'm a slow reader. I can read that in a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pearl. If you haven't read that
Yeah.
book, The Freedom of
And
Self-Forgetfulness is a
yeah.
pearl. All right. Favorite book in the Bible.
Well, I think we just mentioned it earlier today. I like the Book of Ruth.
Mm.
It's cool. It's super
And
cool.
I've been in we're doing this read through the Bible thing, Lisa and I, and it's one of those programs where you kind of follow you follow along every day, and you kind of have a little you have a passage, and you have like a little video that sort of like wraps up the passage, and you can comment. And we've been in the Old Testament. This is our second year in a row doing it, and I've learned so much about the Old Testament, more than I ever knew before, and I just keep going back to my thought is that we're just being told the story of how we can't handle sin.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole Old Testament to me.
Mhm.
To wrap it up, it's a lot of complicated stuff, but in the middle of the Old Testament, there's this book of Ruth, and it's just got this sweet story. I don't think the word God is even mentioned in the book. Is that right, William?
Uh,
It's one of those. I think it's the book where God is not even mentioned.
I know that's true of
Maybe that's not
Esther.
true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true of Ruth. I think it's true of the book of
Okay,
Esther.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
Esther. But in the Ruth is just it's part of the genealogy story. It kind of fills a missing link there in between like the genealogy and fills a blank. But it just tells a story of like this redeemer, and it's an allegory for Christ, I think. I'm not
Mhm.
really sure about that. I haven't done a lot of study on the book. I just think it's such a pleasant, easy read in the middle of all these crushing Old Testament kings and judges and just terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway, Ruth, that's my
If
answer.
you picked a passage from the Bible that has encouraged you right now, whether it's Ruth or New Testament, anything come to mind?
Well, I'm not a very good at memorizing verses or the numbers, but the one the propitiation, the one the
Mhm.
basically the one word summary of the New Testament,
Mhm.
how
Romans 3:25,
Christ,
is that right?
Yep.
that sounds right, yeah. How Christ basically takes over for us and takes our place and substitutes himself for us where we can't do it, and takes on the penalty for sin and becomes, is treated as the sinners need to be treated. And that's a fancy word for what Christ did for us, but that's the one that I always feel like, hey, I give up because I got you, Lord, and that's it.
Amen.
So
Amen.
good.
So good. All right. Well, I want to pass it to Webb and Ben to just honor Stu. You know, the Bible tells us outdo one another in showing honor.
Yeah.
Ways that you've learned from him, ways that you would want to honor him.
Yeah. I mean, Stewie, I think of you, and what comes to mind is the joy of the Lord. I mean, you have been an ultimate professional. You know, the golf portion, you handle your business, you're focused, you've worked hard, you've had an unbelievable career. But when I come up and see you, you always got a huge smile, you give me a hug, and I just know the way you treat people. And that I know you don't treat people the way you treat them because you're trying to be a good boy. You do it because Jesus has changed your life. And it's a reflection of the way he treats you and welcomes you in. And so I love that joy that I get to see in your life, and it's evident for the people in your life to notice all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean that.
I'm humbled.
Yeah. Buddy, I'll get choked up. I just love Stuart. He's just such a great friend to me, and he and Lisa are just some of my favorite people in the whole world. I just love him, and I'm just so thankful for him for so many different reasons. And I'm pretty excited to get to do more life with him starting next year. So
Amen to that. Well, I
That's
appreciate
right.
y'all. And yeah, the weird thing about this game we play is that our ages might be different, but just because I'm older than someone else, I still see like you guys as kind of mentors to me too, in a way, because I think I'm a little younger in my beliefs than you are. And so in a pretty big way in my life, I see you guys as sort of like mentors and models, and I love how you guys honor your families,
Mm.
and your wives are just like superb human beings, by the way, both of them. And I remember at Sony, gosh, this must have been like so long ago. Me and Webb, we played together the last day at Sony. I don't think we're like really in the hunt or anything, but I'm talking like probably 2011 or something.
hmm
And I remember Dowd, Webb's wife Dowd, told my wife Lisa before we started. I think Lisa said something like, "Oh, it's so great the boys get to play together," and she said, they are going to be worshiping out there because every day they get to play is a chance to worship."
hmm
And that when Lisa told me that after the round, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it is! It really is!" I never thought of it like that, but it helped me
That's
really
cool.
start to. I always thought of myself as kind of being like yeah, I'm a Christian, but that's like off the course, and on the golf course, I have to be like this like warrior.
Mm.
But that was kind of like one of the first dominoes that fell to help me understand that like I can be a Christian warrior. I
Mm.
can like bring this into golf and help, and now it's just like one big it's just one big mixture. It's like
Yeah.
it's all been put in the ninja and just like and but I'll
That's
always
cool.
remember Dowd saying that. And but we've had
That's so
with
cool.
Heather too, we've had so many good times and laughs, and Heather knows everybody's career earnings basically to like within $20.
it's freaky. It's freaky. It's like literally you can't play her in this game. It's unbelievable. We'll throw out, Joe Durant, and she's within 233,000.
Oh yeah.
Don't bet against her.
Yeah, Bryony Baird, PF Chang's like,
PF
listen,
Chang's.
yeah.
That is the best. Well, Stu, we could talk to you all night. We know you have a life to live. You got some burn-ins probably to cook, but
Ooh, I wish.
you have our highest respect, man. And big congrats on your first Schwab Cup. Hope it's the first of many.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. It's been fun. Crane, you're gonna love it. We're gonna love having you, and you're gonna be a huge addition out there. And so it'll be a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. Love you, brother.
Thank you,
But
Stewie.
if you can get the time off. from your other jobs.
That's right. Well, thanks for listening to the Bible Caddy podcast. Obviously, a huge thanks to Stewart Cink for coming on today. If you got questions about Jesus, or if you have a golf question you want the guys to answer, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at info@biblecaddy.com. If you're interested in starting a Bible Caddy feature group at your club or with your friends, you can email us at groups@biblecaddy.com. You can follow us on all the socials under the handle @BibleCaddy. We're back next week in the book of Philippians. Until then, let's get into the Word and let the Word get into us.